honestly never thought I would be doing something like this. My name's Jeannie, and I'm the receptionist for Ellen Degeneres. Before this job, I was just an Ellen super fan. For years, I tried to get on the show, and when I finally did, my life was completely changed. Ellen has done so much for me, but this summer, I learned it wasn't sadly necessarily true for other employees on set, and even worse, fans of our show. It's so crazy because this place has brought me so much joy. To anyone that is affected by Ellen negatively, this is for you. Yes, I'm talking about her apology from this summer. Her apology wasn't good enough, and real change needs to be done on this show. Throughout my time with you, I will be discussing the apology and how it went wrong, why it is important to acknowledge, and how we can have real change on our show and practice what we preach. This honestly feels so insane to me right now, this whole thing. Before going on this show, I just thought I was going to be a teacher, and that would have been a wonderful life. But as I stated in 2018, this journey was something I never thought would happen. And for most of them, sadly, it wasn't the positive experience that I had. It was completely the opposite. That being said, this is not what you deserved. I can easily say this summer hasn't been great for anyone in this world, especially, it's 2020. But it's been so crazy for me even here because we've had allegations about a toxic work environment. And Ellen being rude to our fans, flooded with all this information on social media. When our show went back on the air, I knew that it was important for Ellen to respond to these situations and allegations. There are multiple members of my faculty being verbally abused and mistreated in their place of work, which is supposed to be a safe place. But it has turned into completely the opposite, which is not okay. The first episode of this season, Ellen responded. Now, not only as her employee, but as her friend, I can firmly state that this just scratched the surface, and it wasn't what the people deserved. No matter how little you know about Ellen or the show itself, the reason you're watching me today is either to get a good laugh in or understand why the show isn't being represented in the way we need it to be. Negativity is not what this show represents. The reason I fell so much in love with the Ellen show to begin with and why I wanted to work here so bad because it seemed like the happiest place on earth, with games every episode and fun celebrities coming on to get a good laugh in. Now, all I can think about is on set when I come is all the information that's been happening behind closed doors. That being said, I don't want to make any jokes or give any prizes at this moment. Ellen unfortunately did her apology at the beginning of September, and she just decided to make jokes about her underwear line or about that one time where she played a straight woman in a movie and as an actress. I want everyone here to know that I'm sorry for anything that is negative that you have experienced on this show. As a part of making this show, I would take full responsibility, along with my coworkers, in giving your discomfort and pain. We never wanted this to happen. I know that giving our condolences isn't enough, and it isn't going to take away, but I just want you to understand that your feelings are valid. To my fellow coworkers that are experiencing horrible activities behind the scenes, I am so sorry. Positive can especially be difficult in social media, as it is such a huge factor in our world, especially mine. I've heard so many different opinions of our show, but I just want them all to be positive, as that's what we stand for. Now it is time to make a terrible out of this situation, how we can change. As a crew member and employee, it starts out with taking more time to get to know who you work with. I see some of our familiar faces every day on set, but I don't even take the time to get to know who they actually are. There should be regular staff meetings each week where we check up on our mental health and how our experience is going on the show. When it comes to fans, I think that the most beneficial step will be able to take time with Ellen to have our show create a positive environment. In a 2015 article by Harvard Business Review, it states that positive work environments are not only more enjoyable, but more productive. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little afraid of this area, especially because, Ellen's my boss, and she's the reason I'm on this show, but you guys are worth it. We owe it to you all. Without everyone watching today, I wouldn't even be in Hollywood right now. You all came here to be entertained, and that should be one of our biggest goals moving forward. Throughout my short time with you all today, I discussed the apology, how it went wrong, why it is important to acknowledge, and how real change can be done on our show. Thank you so much for just taking the time to listen to me today and discuss the areas that I thought needed to be improved on our show. I really hope that our show can change into what you're all looking for, a happy, magical place, and the Ellen show where I remember and I fell in love with, and more importantly, the place where my dreams came true.